Hey, what's up, Wolfpack? Bless me. I hope you're doing well and things are going well. I know sometimes I can get really caught up in make-believe problems. And it's funny, we can also shift that energy into make-believe dreams, you know? And, some people are like, oh, where your attention goes, energy flows. But, yeah, that's true, but, you know, not everything that you catastrophize in your mind comes true. Like, I know ever since Maria had her friend just burst into my room, which was locked, and grab me, and maybe 4 cops just pin me down to the floor, inject some shit in me, put me in a mental hospital, then get picked up from that mental hospital, captured by these pieces of shit, and sent to a rehab center, which are all just code for concentration camp. I'm obviously scared that's gonna happen again. But I still fear that every day that will happen. But, I guess in a sense you could say our fears are not our reality, and that there's so much more going on than just how we're feeling, right? Not to say emotions aren't powerful, or you can't manifest with emotions, or whatever. My point is just things do work out in our favor. And, part of me is kind of like, maybe it doesn't. Like, that's a lie. Because I'm obviously very wounded from my past, trigger warning, having been beat with a belt, having been molested, raped, up until the age of 18, which is actually this year. So, and obviously psychologically abused, which happens to this day. And of course, thanks to this system that has been built in place by at least narcissists. That's a little bit of a nicer term than sociopath and psychopath, but they don't even like that term either, so. But since it's been built by people like that, it's hard for people like me. I don't really like calling myself a victim, because I feel like that victimizes me. I don't know. But I am a recipient of this abuse. These people who have done this to me get to roam around like nothing happened and abuse others and just keep doing what they're doing. For now. Because all of that will change. Of course, they gang stalk me and do their best to take down my videos and etc. But at the end of the day, I know who I am. I know how powerful I am. Because if they have to send a whole SWAT team for all of that, it just shows me how weak they are. Like at one of the mental hospitals, concentration camps, so what Maria did, so I had been asking to go to Hawaii for a while, because I was like, you know what, I don't want to be here, I just want to live on my own, fuck you. And she was like, okay, we're gonna get your COVID-19 test so you can go. And they take me to a mental hospital. I try to run away. Then they lock me up, tie me to the bed, cover my face with a sheet or something. Obviously trying to murder me, in a way. Even if it's not literally physically murdering me, in a way it's murdering me. And if you don't understand that, if you know, you know. So, yeah. That happened. And I think I was there for 2 days. Obviously very traumatized, very scared, very annoyed, petrified. I kind of forgot why I brought that up. But yeah, I was there. Pretty much, it felt like forever, obviously. An eternity, because there's no clock, there's no time, you don't know when you went in, you don't know when you're leaving, you don't know if you're ever leaving. It is detrimental and very painful and traumatizing. And I remember being in the bathroom one time and hearing Maria's voice outside and being like, oh, she's here. And I was like, Mom. And she was like, oh, hey, coming to drop off clothes, bitch. Pick me up. You don't get to just put me wherever you want, whenever you want. I'm not a slave to you or to anyone. It's the audacity for me. Because what the actual fuck are you doing? If I'm supposedly your child, why are you treating me like a slave, like property? Like, oh, my child's damaged. Let me go lock her up for speaking the truth on how I molested her when she was younger. Okay. Fucking loser. Can't face problems face to face, so you have to go through all of that work of manipulating people, even though you don't really have to manipulate these psychologists, because just look at the documentary Century of Self. That will explain everything. It's on YouTube, by the way. Should be. At least the last time I checked it was on there. Hopefully it's still there. But yeah. It's fucked up. Is that a napkin? Yeah. Yeah. But I bring that up because, I've been through all of that shit. And like 2020, right? I was sex trafficked. Which isn't new, but whatever. I guess this was one of the major events, I guess. Gang rape. I called the cops because I thought cops were good. Obviously learned my lesson because then they gang raped me. And then they arrested me for defending myself. But they said it was assault and battery on an officer. Shit's spicy. So what I mean is, obviously, due to all of this trauma, I'm scared every day of my life. Every second of my life. And time isn't linear. Time is an illusion. You know, so technically all that shit's still happening, but so is the shit that I want to manifest. It just isn't in this physical, tangible reality in my face right now. Right now. In a sense. Right? Because time doesn't exist. It's just a concept. It's just a construct. Now, like I've said, I've been very afraid that, I don't know, something bad will happen again. Something really traumatic will happen again. You know. Just as Maria literally tricked me to getting locked up in a mental hospital. Anytime I go out with my dad, I get scared he's gonna take me somewhere and I'll never see the light of day again. And that he's just lying to me about going to the theater or going grocery shopping and I'll never come back. And I also have to admit, you know, it also happened in Florida where Maria would just send me away to a mental concentration camp, okay? And like, you know, the first time that I recall, I was there for 9 days, didn't see light for 9 days. Sunlight for 9 days. As you can see, I'm melanated. A bitch needs sunlight. I came out pale, and I was darker than this before I went in. I was living in Florida, and it was summer, which is pretty much all year round. And I love me the beach. I love me in nature. And I live next to a lagoon. So I'd be in the sun all the time, as much as I could. Like, again, the worst part wasn't just being locked up. It was the fact that Maria would clean my room. Why are you invading my privacy? 1. Never have I ever had my own room. Still actually don't to this day, because as you can see, there's a bunk bed. That means someone lives under there. Sure, they're not here maybe 6 days out of the week now, but plus, still don't have really my own space. But luckily, I do now. At least 6 days of the week. For now. You know. And imagine. We'll just say 17, okay? Going 17 years. Going on to 18. With not having your own room. Now, if my family wasn't toxic, I wouldn't complain. But since they are, in every sense of the word abuse, and in every connotation of the word abuse, of course I was petrified, and still am, and still traumatized. Because sometimes I'll be just trying to relax, and obviously, since that's, you know, what is that called? Theta wave? It's some kind of wave state where you're almost completely relaxed, at least because I sometimes can't really fall asleep. You know. Under the age of 17, I believe. 17 under. I'd have insomnia, I believe it's insomnia. I used to call it insomnia, but I heard there's actually a different word for it where you actually have you just have so much CPTSD that you just aren't able to fall asleep fully. Which is why I'm still a light sleeper, but I finally started sleeping once I moved into my own room in Florida for the first time in 17 years. At that time, my whole life. So, yeah, I started sleeping in Florida and shit. And I thought that was really dope. Even if it was just 3 hours, it was better than feeling restless. You know, and people would be like, oh, there's no way you were awake all night. Shut your bitch ass up. You don't know science. Sure, I may not know all the facts to state them right now, but when I do, I will make a whole video just for you. But anyway, yeah, I obviously didn't really sleep or rest because I'd wake up exhausted. Now I do sleep, still wake up exhausted, you know, because even in the astral realm, you're fighting demons. So, but yeah, it's quite some shit. But yeah, since I moved here, back in Cali, um, you know, it's been 5 months, almost 5 months since I've lived here. And, you know, I always still have that fear in the back of my mind. Oh, I'm gonna get kidnapped again, I'm gonna get locked up again, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. You know, I just have this guilt and shame and fear and whatever. And that's not to beat myself up. I have every reason to feel that way, especially since, like, the shit that's happened to me has pretty much just been unexpected, even though my mother is a piece of shit, so I should have expected, but whatever. Yeah. But nothing like that has happened. You know, sure, I was with this toxic ass motherfucker, which is why I came back here and ended up staying instead of going back to Florida. But I cut her off in October. So it's hasn't even been 2 months, has it? I don't know. But yeah, I cut her off. And obviously I'm still dealing with the pains and aches and healing and all that shit. 1737, I don't know if that means something to anyone. But yeah, I've just been doing my best to heal and work on myself and whatnot. Was that really October? October, November. Oh no, yeah, it's been 3 months, right? No. 2 months? I don't know. Time doesn't exist. Like it does, but it doesn't, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's a paradox. But alas, yeah, so a lot of shit. A lot of shit. I've been working a lot on myself and um yeah, just working a lot on myself, trying to release, let go, heal, trust myself, listen to my intuition, follow my heart, pursue my passions. And I just started, and I've been beating myself up, you know, because I'm not an overnight success. Now thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, it takes time. Especially when I had to be inconsistent due to being locked up. Because I started this channel 2020. Yeah, it's been a year since. So, yeah, I started that a year ago. And a lot has changed since then. But it also hasn't. Yeah. I don't know why. But I feel kind of upset. Because I feel like I had more confidence back then than I do now. Like, sure, I had a lot of fear, but I feel like I was a lot more brave back then. Or maybe I'm just finding reasons to beat myself up because that's habitual thinking, just some patterns. that I have. Just a lot of shit. Shit. But I do feel like I'm in a better place. Better slow down because I'm scared and I have doubt. I don't know. I wanted this to be a hopeful message, but it's whatever. I'm just here to speak my truth anyway. But fucking got food on my chin. But yeah, anyway, have a good one. Take care. Go ahead, like, share, comment, subscribe if you want. And help my community grow. Help me reach more people that need to hear this if you want.